Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Lannie. If you are new here, welcome. I'm coming to you guys with another makeup tutorial. So if you want to learn how I did this look, go ahead and stay tuned. But before you do, go ahead and click that subscribe button and that notification bell so you will never miss future uploads. I know you guys hear a ton of people say that, but for real, go ahead and subscribe. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to start off with priming my face with my NYX Angel Veil. And this is the first thing I do. I've already moisturized my skin and everything with my SPF earlier. And now I like to go in with my my primer. So I'm gonna put that all over my face, especially the places where I'm the most oily, which is my T-zone. So my forehead and my nose area is where I get really oily. To combat the oil a little bit more, I like to take a sponge. There's nothing on the sponge, it's not wet or anything. And I'm going to take a little bit of powder and go ahead and powder those areas as well. I know you guys hear me say this a lot whenever I do my makeup, but I am really oily, so I have to do certain things to help me not look extremely oily throughout the day. So I'm just going to put this all over my face. Okay, next I'm going to take a spoolie here and brush my brows up. Hold on, my lips are... Ooh, girl. Get it together. Okay, that's much better. All right, back to brows. I'm going to go ahead and brush them up with this spoolie, and this is a dual ended. It has a spoolie on one end and the brush that you will use in your pomade. Okay, and then I'm going to be using my Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow in the color Ebony, and I'm going to take the other end, and I like to start in the front. I'm not pressing hard at all. I'm just letting that pigment work itself. I'm not pressing hard at all. And I used to do like a bolder brow, but now I kind of like a, you know, a little light, nice clean brow nowadays. Next, I'm going to take my Tarte Shape Tape in the color Deep. And I'm going to take an angled brush here and just kind of get a little bit of that concealer and clean up my brow. And look at the difference cleaning up your brows can do. Just makes it look a lot sharper. All right, I think I'm gonna go ahead and start off with this black color, and it's called Black, y'all. And I'm gonna take my brush here and start and some people like to do their eyes like one at a time. Like they do one eye first and then come back on camera and then do, you know, do the other eye. I can't do that. I'm so forgetful. Forget. I gotta do it. I gotta do both at the same time. Okay. All right. So I might come back to that black, but for now, I'm going to take another brush. This is a Real Techniques brush. And I think I'm going to go into the color, this color here called Warrior. Tap that in. I think I'm going to go back into that black to intensify it a little bit more. Color here. Very pretty. I think I'm going to go into this blue here called Storm. And I'm going to put that color right here. This is kind of looking gender reveal-ish. But I'm going to blend. It's been a while since I've done wing liner, so I'm just going to go ahead and do one today. And I'm using my Wet n Wild Maybelline. My lashes are still drying, so I'm going to move on to skin, and I'm going to be using my Juvia's Place I Am Magic foundation, and I am in the color Dakar 220. Hope you can see that. And it is coming down outside. It is raining really hard. This is a full coverage foundation, and you don't need a lot at all. So I'm just going to put a few dots on my face. And it blends out really, really nicely, so you don't need a whole lot. Alright, that should do it. I'm going to take my Real Techniques foundation brush, and I'm just going to blend that out. I'm going to take that same concealer that I used to clean up my brows with, and I'm going to put that under my eyes, the bridge of my nose, a little on my forehead. And my Cupid's bow. Then I'm going to take my Real Techniques sponge and blend that out. I don't think you can make pretty faces blending out concealer. Oh, this looks so weird. To set my concealer, I'm going to be using my Airspun as well as my black Opal powder. I don't like how white the Airspun is, but it helps with combating oil. So I like to use that when I like to mix the two. Okay, so I'm just going to mix these two together, and I'm going to take my same sponge and dip it in here and press that under my eye. And the black Opal powder pretty much offsets that white powder. And I really don't bake, you guys. Nowadays I've been just pressing the powder into my skin instead of just putting it on there and brushing it off. I like to just press it into my skin, just like that. Gonna put that on the areas that I had that concealer and making sure nothing creases throughout the day. Now I'm going to go in with my Black Radiance True Complexion Contour palette, and this is the newer one. This is the Dark to Deep. I was using, longest time I was using this one, and this one is the Medium to Dark, and this one is the Dark to Deep. Okay, so this is going to be my first time using this one. So this color obviously is deeper than the one in the other palette, so I'm going to tread lightly and just, ooh, it looks super pigmented. I'm going to dip in both so it won't be as harsh. I can go a little bit deeper. Gonna go back in. Oh yeah, you can see the difference here. It's very pigmented, which is hard to find for darker skin girls, things that are like super pigmented as far as contours are concerned. So This is nice. Very pretty. And for my perimeter, I'm not dipping into that contour color. I'm going to just dip into the sculpt color, which is a little lighter. And I'm going to go around my forehead and then on my nose to powder my whole face using my Black Radiance Soft Focus Finishing Powder in Milk Chocolate. She's still hanging in there. And I'm going to use that to powder my entire face. I don't waste, you guys. I like to use my stuff. And if I like it, I'm just going to keep using the same thing over and over. After I powder my face, I like to go back in and fix up my brows because sometimes, you know, you can lose a little bit of the pigment on your brows, just like in this one. So I'm just going to brush them up and dip it back a little bit and just kind of fix it up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and set my face with my e.l.f. Matte Magic Mist and Set. For blush, I'm going to be using my Blush Trio by ABH. And I'm just going to pretty much pick up all of these colors. I'm going to be using my Black Radiance True Complexion 3D Highlighter Palette. And I think I'm going to go in the color Vacation. Back into my Uoma Beauty palette, and I'm going to go into that black color and smoke out my bottom lash line. I'm going to go back into Warrior. And you guys, why not? I think I'm going to go into Savage, which is this sparkly color here. And I'm also going to take a black liner in by my lower lash line. And then I'm going to take some mascara. This is a Maybelline Great Lash in Very Black. And I'm only going to put that on my bottom lashes. For lips, I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to use my MAC lip liner in the color Current. And then I'm going to take my MAC lipstick in the color Sweetie.